Hey, I'm Ari Mizell, and welcome to this demo with ARX Fit. And I have Mark Alexander here. Hi, Mark.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. So we're here in New York City at my parents' art gallery, Mizell Gallery here, and we have this beautiful sculpture here that is going to kick my butt later in this hour. This is the ARX Fit machine, which is the most efficient workout machine I've ever seen or tried. I just went through a workout and grew this beard in the process because it was so hard. So Mark's going to take us through the science of this, and we're going to show you this machine. It's really not out there on the market for a lot of people to see yet, and you're going to get an exclusive look at what this machine can do for you in a very, very short amount of time. So Mark, first of all, why don't you just tell us the science behind adaptive resistance and everything that sort of goes into it?
Yeah. Well, if you take a strength curve, not everyone is linear in their force output and capabilities. So the Nautilus cam, if you give you a quick history lesson, tried to devise a way to account for that strength curve. However, it was based around averages and doesn't account for fatigue and another host of factors. So we knew that was an issue. We also knew that your performance and your capability is limited by tools, especially on the eccentric on barbell bench press. As you're lowering the weight towards your chest, you can lower more weight than you can lift. We knew we had to develop a tool to take advantage of our meat on the bone, if you will, that we're leaving. So hence ARX. Also, we wanted it to be super efficient. We wanted it to be safe. So not only is it effective, but we had to meet those tenets of safe, effective, and efficient.
Right, okay, so to put that in real layman's terms, because this is the description that I tend to give people, is that I could hand you a 400-pound weight, maybe, and you're a big guy, and you could lower it to the ground slowly, but there's no way you could pick that up again. And so this machine actually allows you to work that motion, because as Mark is explaining, you are much stronger in the eccentric motion than you are in the concentric motion, right? And that goes for all the muscles that we have. So if you think about squatting or pulling down something or putting groceries up on a shelf, you could take a really heavy thing off the shelf maybe and lower it down and put it down and, grunt along the way, but then maybe you couldn't get it back up there again, which is kind of interesting because with traditional weights, you literally could not do that unless you had like four guys or four people holding a very heavy weight to let you go down and then they switch it out for, it just really doesn't work. So, and then the other thing that this does, because it's adaptive resistance, which you'll explain, is that, I have one level of strength here, and another one here, another one here, another one here. And all through that, there are different levels of strength, and this lets you maximize that throughout the entire movement, the strength curve, as you were saying. So, eccentric training, right? So what are the results that people can generally expect to see from focused eccentric training?
So eccentric contractions produce more micro-trauma within the muscle fibers. Micro-trauma is actually the small damages that you want when you're performing strength training. And so from that, you get more lean muscle tissue, more hypertrophy. There's also a loading factor for bone mineral density that increases as well because you are actually, in a safe way, loading the bones. For you and I, it's maybe not as big of a deal, but for your mom, for example, it might be more, osteoporotic women, need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of studies showing that resistance training for the elderly is one of the best things they can do for bone density and longevity in general. So now, how did this machine come about? What's the genesis?
Well, the genesis there is that we wanted to develop a machine that was all-encompassing, and you could do all the major compound exercises. Compound exercises, a wrist curl or a bicep curl is a isolation or a simple rotary movement. A compound movement would be a pull-down or chinning type of movement. So work more muscles over multi-joints. And so we developed it around those compound exercises, something that you could do, the entire gamut, if you will, of all the compound exercises, major ones.
Yeah, so I just want to point that out. I'm going to go through a demonstration with everybody, of course, but, you've got your handles here for doing the pull-downs, that lat movement, like a pull-up, and then the chest press is like a push-up, basically. And then you can actually do squats, and so you really can work the entire body with this machine. This is sort of like the Frankenstein version of a Bowflex.
Yes.
I like to look at it that way. And then the other thing, though, that you've included with this, a big part of this is the quantification aspect.
Correct,
So you can sort of see on the screen here, but let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to know where you are. And you can be directionally accurate with a gravity-based system, but like I said, we talked about some of the limitations, but you need to know how you're progressing. And there's also, maybe you didn't sleep well, maybe there's stresses, whatever's going on. You'll start to see some of those trends in the workouts, and so you need to pay attention to that. You need to know where you're going and have the directional accuracy here that's mapped out in the software. So.
Right. Okay. So now this is the big sort of wow factor to this is what does a workout look like on this machine, and how long and how often do you do it?
Yeah, I mean it's a super efficient workout, in literally minutes, usually under 10 minutes of total exertion time per workout, and usually for most people's health benefits, kind of the 80-20 rule, that can be done once a week for about 10 minutes.
Okay, so once a week for about 10 minutes, okay? Now, you've heard of 8-minute abs, you've heard of other things like that, but this is legit. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons that I was so excited to get you guys here and have this demonstration is that I originally met you guys at the Bulletproof Conference back in November, September or November. And I tried the machine out, and I literally did 6 reps. Now, I'm not talking about like a full exercise, a full set. I did 6 reps, so that was in and out of 3 different exercises, so 6 total reps, and I was destroyed. I mean, it was really incredible, and not only was I feeling it in my muscles, but I felt the cardio aspects of it. My heart was pumping. I was starting to get sweat on my brow. I mean, it was amazing, and I was sore.
We'll see you sweat here in a little bit.
Yeah, so we're going to put me through those paces again. But basically, this thing is just, I mean, it's just mind-blowing.